At a young
These dictators
age, only
seem to live
68.
forever. Like Fidel Castro. Live forever.
Yes, indeed. But,
so what about
well,
him?
his son is, you know, his name
just
is
made
coming
a general.
out. Just made a 4-star general. He's sort of coming out into the public.
Yes.
First time a lot of the international people are ever hearing about this, the youngest son, who is supposed to be around 27, 28.
Wow.
He was schooled in Switzerland, and he received some degree at a university in Pyongyang. I don't know. I mean, it's speculated that Kim Jong-il will give up power within the next few years.
And this youngest son will become the new dictator.
Absolutely.
So are you hoping because he was schooled in Switzerland that he might not follow in the footsteps of his father? Is that what you're thinking? Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
An example.
Okay.
Bashar al-Assad, who's the president of Syria right now.
Right.
He was educated in England as an ophthalmologist.
Oh.
And he took over from his father, and he has kind of continued the tradition of dictatorship. So being educated in the West does not necessarily give you a straight pathway to democracy.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Yes.
You know, but I always keep that optimism. Like, you know,
well, you're young and optimistic. I'm older and kind of, you know, pessimistic about human nature. Okay.
Who was the woman who was she had such a powerful role in Pakistan.
Oh yes, and she was murdered.
Yeah, she was murdered. She was schooled in England and came back with these democratic.
Well, right, and that's
power.
why she was murdered.
I know, and it's sad.
Well, that's also a fundamentalist Islamic country where women in power don't go over well.
Right, exactly. So, we can only hope. North Korea does accept at least more democratic.
Well, its people are starving to death. I mean, they have spent every penny on their military.
Yeah, and did you hear that when the World Cup team came back? Did you hear that whole controversy?
No.
That, you know, North Korea performed very poorly, but they were so proud to finally represent their country at World Cup. And supposedly, this is speculated, okay, this is not factual, nobody really knows what goes on in North Korea, but that they were, like, tortured and made fun of in front of a group of people. The coach was. So, I don't know. I just hope, I really hope for North Korea.
People can be cruel, not just in America or England or Europe. People are cruel all over the world.
Right, absolutely.
And it's too bad.
Let's go on to some good news.
Yes.
Here at the University of Toledo.
Rockets! Third game in a row.
Yes. Beat Purdue.
Oh, I watched them on television. And they just cremated the Boilermakers from Purdue. At Purdue. And let me tell you, the crowd at Purdue was just taunting the Rockets. They just overcame all that negative vibration and brought home another win. So go Rockets. I know. Keep it up.
Yes.
Cremate your opponents. I mean, be vigorously aggressive, because we want you to win the MAC this year.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. So kudos to the Rocket football team.
Who do they play this week?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I believe it's away as well, right? I don't believe it's home.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check up.
But go Rockets.
Go Rockets.
Great job. Going on to education.
Yes.
So let's talk first, because this really aligns with your class, Deb. You know, I was reading the Huffington Post today, and it was recorded that Los Angeles hit 113. Hot. Sizzling, right?
Yes.
So 113, and the National Weather Service thermometer stopped. I mean, this is not fun. This really is not funny. But, I mean, I can't help but think,
what's going on?
So tell us about your course.
Well, you know, for my freshman class, I decided last year to use Plan B, Mobilizing to Save Civilization. And it's written by a man, Lester R. Brown. And it's just filled with all of the latest statistics on the global water crisis, the global food crisis, on pollution, on how we're losing massive acreage that used to be diverted for farming. We have desertification all over the world. Our rivers and streams are drying up. Glaciers are melting. The snow caps on the mountains that feed our rivers are drying up because there's not enough snow cap in the winters anymore. So this is a situation that we're facing. However, I like to be able to have my students determine at the end of the course to take one side of the argument, because this is a huge controversy.
Oh, yeah.
On one side, we have this, the great believers in global warming, like Al Gore. And then on the other hand, we have scientists who say the Earth is just simply going through a natural period of warming and cooling, and right now we're in a warming period.
Right, absolutely.
So at the end of the course, I like to have my students determine analytically which side that they're agreeing with. I tend to agree with the scientists in terms of the Earth going through periods of warming and cooling, because this has become a kind of a political football. There are many people who believe that pushing global warming is actually a form of control over citizens. For example, I'm going to tell you what light bulb that you should have in your house.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what kind of toilet you should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I've heard
things of this nature.
Yeah.
So, but it's very interesting, and the students,
it's very interesting,
and their papers are so focused. And what I find really interesting is that the students come in with a lot of knowledge about this topic already, because they studied it in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all very interested because our students are primarily in the sciences.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of problems that they're going to be facing in the future.
Yeah.
This is real life.
Yeah, well, yes.
Right.
Yes,
so I like to do real life activities.
People are making careers out of studying this global warming phenomenon.
Exactly. Next year, though, I'm going to change my topic. I don't like to do the same topic more than 2 years in a row.
That's brilliant. I think that's really brilliant. It says something about you as a lecturer, and it says something
thank you.
about your courses. I mean,
thank you. I
absolutely.
I like to be,
Do you have any ideas of what you may?
I'm studying a few things. I may go more into American cultural studies next year. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, you mentioned when I went to observe Deb's class the other day for a course that I'm in, and I have done nothing but rave about how wonderful.
Thank you.
No, and I'm really saying this is not that we're on film right now, but because the way she utilizes her time and the different activities, it's fantastic. But you had mentioned pop culture. Now that would be really cool too. I mean, I think that would really resonate with freshman composition.
I think so.
So great idea.
Well, we like to
Deb's doing fun stuff.
Yeah, we like to change things up. Not get bored. Not bore our students either.
No.
Because one thing about teaching freshmen is that you can't stand up there and lecture.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep the class moving. You have to have all kinds of activities that are leading toward that goal of them producing the best essay that they can possibly produce.
Absolutely.
And with that comes a lot of what I call analytical skills. I teach a lot of analytical skills.
Yeah, you really do.
Which really helps them to think through the problems that they're dealing with and come up with solutions, and it makes their papers so much richer.
Right. In academia and in real life.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's wonderful. So that's all for now.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes.
We had a fabulous week, and we want you all to stay
fabulous.
Okay, see you next. Bye-bye.